Hey, football fans, it's never too early to start shopping for NFL futures. We're going to go division by division and see if we see any value in teams we can see making a run in the 2022 season for the 2023 Super Bowl. I'm Alex here for Odds Checker with three guests today. I have Micah Roberts, Greg Sidoris, and Penny White. All right, we're going to start in the AFC. I'm going to read off a division. Go ahead and tell me if you think that which team you think will win that division, and if there's any value for the conference or to win the Super Bowl. AFC East, Buffalo Bills won that division this year. Patriots second, Miami Dolphins, and then in New York Jets. Micah, we'll start with you.
I'd love to make a case for the Jets, but that's not happening yet. The Bills are the team to beat. I love last season watching Bill Belichick take his rookie and do some things. So I'm excited about it. I mean, the Bills are still the better team, but I think there's some hope there for the Patriots and start a new generation there.
I like. I'm looking at the value of the Patriots at 25-1. Anything happens to Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills, the Patriots are right there to step right in and getting great value at 25-1. I like the Patriots in that division. I'll take the price.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. Buffalo right now plus 425 to win the AFC, and you can get the Patriots at plus 1,300. Big difference in price there. We've got Bill Belichick and now Mac Jones with a year under his belt. And we did see the Patriots close the gap after Tom Brady left in year two. They were much better in year two. And I think that same progression will take place in year three. So, Alex, we're all in agreement. The Patriots, if anyone, will have as value right now, plus 1,300 to win the AFC.
Let's look at the AFC North. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals, who made it all the way to the Super Bowl, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, and Baltimore Ravens. Micah?
Yeah, I love the Bengals, but, I'm going to try to think outside the box here. I think everybody's going to – and the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, steady team. Will Lamar Jackson be able to throw the ball and win some big games? It doesn't seem like he's done well in those situations or stay healthy now. But I'm going to take a look at the Ravens here.
I'm a Cleveland boy, born and raised. I would love to say the Browns at 30-1 look like they have some value. It's a division that's kind of stuck in the middle there. You got the Steelers reloading with a new quarterback. The Browns have been in trouble. The Bengals, I still think the Bengals are the team to beat with their offensive young weapons. Nice defense. I'm coming back to the Bengals to win that division.
Yeah, with the question marks up in the air with quarterback at Pittsburgh and really even in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. Is he going to be the guy or not? No idea. He does more commercials, I think, than winning football games. You're right. It's at plus $7. Cincinnati, young defense, Joe Burrow, the things he did this year. I'm kind of leaning to that a little bit. But the DVOA numbers did not agree with Cincinnati and felt that they were a very lucky and fortunate team. But I'll tell you what, down the stretch, throw those numbers out because just look like Burrow and Chase and his crew just continue to get better week in and week out. But I do like Micah's point on John Harbaugh. If you can rely on Jackson to win games for you, you know that the Baltimore Ravens are going to be better this year. So that's kind of a toss-up for me between those two. The numbers are a little bit too low for me on either one, so I'll just pass in this division.
Maybe we can find some value in the AFC South. Disappointing end of the season for two of these teams, Tennessee Titans and Indianapolis Colts. Then we've got the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Any value here, Micah?
I like the Titans, and I think they can win it all with Tannehill and everybody being healthy. They just had so many injuries last season with A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, and, of course, the big running back. But if say they're all healthy, the defense is good enough, I think they can win with that system and go all the way. They're 20-1 at Caesars, 11-1 to win the AFC. I like the makeup of the mix, and it's so hard to stop. And it wasn't fair for them to be the number one seed and then bring back Henry in the game against the Bengals. They just were out of sync. You could see it the whole way, even with the running game and Henry, the short yardage plays. I think he had 3 or 4 plays where he didn't gain anything or negative yardage in that game that did not get first down. So they were just out of sync all season after Henry went down, after Jones went down, and it was just bad. So I was surprised they got the number 1 seed, but I think they bounce back next year and ready to be back to the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm seeing a big number with the Jacksonville Jaguars at 100-1 plus in many locations, and there's no issue with the second-year quarterback taking the helm and taking your team far in the playoffs. So Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence, and they also get the number 1 pick this year. So they're going to have a lot different team. They're going to have a professional coach this year. They had a college coach coming in last year, and that didn't work out so well for Jacksonville. So I'm going to take the if there's a Cincinnati Bengals price from this year to next year, I see the Jaguars at 100-1. I'll put $10 on that one.
Yeah, we saw what a quarterback could do for Cincinnati with Joe Burrow going last to first and getting to the Super Bowl. I was going to say that the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team will show the most improvement out of the division is the Jaguars, and it's going to be because of Doug Peterson coming in. He knows what to do, and I think that he'll groom Trevor Lawrence to be a really good quarterback next year. But I still think they're a couple of years away from cashing a ticket to win the AFC. I would rather bet their win total over when that comes out. The team with the value to me is going to be Indianapolis. I had them rated the highest team at the end of the year in that division. They choked at the end of the year and they lost at Jacksonville. Didn't make the playoffs, but they got outstanding running back. The offensive line was banged up most of the year. When they're all healthy, one of the best O-lines in football, and their defense is solid. So I'll take the Colts at plus $13 or 13-1 to win the AFC.
Great points about Jacksonville. I do like the Titans and the Colts as well for the AFC. Let's go ahead and move to the AFC West. Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Chargers, and Denver Broncos all start. I like the Los Angeles Chargers a little bit here. I like Justin Herbert. Micah, what do you think?
Well, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and until somebody knocks them down, I mean, it's hard to make a case for Denver or the Raiders. I like the Raiders. I like the Broncos, but the Broncos quarterback situation, who's it going to be? Russell Wilson, Drew Lock, Aaron Rodgers, lots of candidates out there to come in and play quarterback. And that's really been the thing that's missing. They got a fantastic running game, great offensive line. The defense played spectacular. So I don't know how Hackett's going to come in and do what the defense. Fangio was a great defensive coach, but offense was missing. And maybe Drew Lock, if that's the guy, maybe Hackett can do something with them and help him out. He's an amazing, smart offensive coach. So Denver improvement, but Kansas City's still going to win. But I don't really like them to represent the AFC or go to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to be coming back to a team who I really they were as good as any team in the AFC coming down to playoffs, and that was the Chargers. They've got an awesome, excellent offense. I know Alex loves the Chargers. I'm on the Chargers this year too. With the Broncos, with their uncertainty, they do have a fantastic team offensively and defensively, so they can get a plug and play quarterback over there. I believe they're in the 20s, 22-1, 25-1. I can't see the odds right here.
That's just because of Rodgers, just the possibility.
Well, it's a good possibility. So anything's possible with that one. The Raiders, they may be making some quarterback moves there. I could see Derek Carr moving. Garoppolo, I like him in San Francisco to stick around, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Garoppolo. He could always move over to the next state, over in Nevada, and be quarterback in the Raiders next year. I'm coming back with the Chargers at about 20-1 to win the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, that's a tough division. The Chiefs are definitely the best team in the division, but at 4-1 to win the AFC, I don't think that's a high enough price. Just no value there. Looking at the Raiders at 25-1, Josh McDaniels is a guy that has head coaching experience. He didn't do well at Denver. A lot of guys don't do well their first time around. And now he's had the success under Bill Belichick, winning Super Bowls, knowing what it takes. I think he could be a difference maker. This team played extremely hard last year, and they went through a lot of difficult situations to still make the playoffs. And I think the Raiders could actually continue to improve on that season and be the second best team in the division. Because I'm not sure Nathaniel Hackett, great offensive coordinator, but you have to prove it to me that you're a head coach. Some people are meant to be coordinators. Some are meant to be head coaches. And until you can prove to me that you're a head coach or have some experience doing it, then I'm not going to be able to back you. So I won't be able to back Denver. And I did not like the way Brandon Staley coached at the end of last year. The games I watched, he hurt that team badly in his coaching and his decisions. So I'll go with the Raiders at 25-1 to win the AFC.
Being from Las Vegas, I won't be mad if the Raiders do win the AFC. Let's get to the NFC. We'll start in the East again. Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington, and New York Giants. Micah, we're going to start with you again.
I definitely don't want the Cowboys, even though they've got all the talent to do everything. The defense, all their entire draft this season was defensive players. Those guys will be better this year. I'd like to say Dallas, but there's just always something always happens, and Dak Prescott situations. I'm still wondering why he thought he could run, and I don't know. At the end of the game, there's bad clock management by him. I guess I'm going to think Philly because I don't know that Washington. I was big on Washington last year, the momentum from the playoff year. I thought the defense was going to dominate. That didn't happen. They were one of the worst defenses in football last season. So not on them. I'll take Philadelphia to win the division, and that's just Jalen Hurts one more year getting better. He's hopefully he can do a little more in the pocket, not always run around and have this chaotic offense and just control the game clock. And so a lot of the times they were just playing mad scramble offense with Hurts just doing everything and throwing up Hail Marys, getting pass interference, stuff like that. So, let's go Philly.
I'm going to go with a little bit of a long shot in that division. As long as Mike McCarthy's coaching, I scratch a pretty good team in the Cowboys out of the mix. I don't know what it is about his coaching style, but he just scares me every time the game is close. The Eagles, the Eagles, they've got a quarterback who's certainly athletic. You never know. They may be in the market and shopping Malik Willis, and they could have a little quarterback controversy in Philadelphia. The Giants, I have no faith in them. And I'm going to go with the Redskins at 50-1, where you never know. Carson Wentz could end up in Washington, giving them a little bit more of a boost in the quarterback situation. There's going to be some quarterback movements. It's not all going to be the same. So if they happen to get a little bit of an upgrade, I'll take the 50-1 on the Redskins.
You're great. It's $10 for each one of those R words you said. They are now the Washington Commanders.
I like football team better. I just got used to that. I'm going to keep calling it football team.
I was just getting used to football team as well, Micah. But they're the Commanders this year, and that's a double slap and a double fine for Greg on that one. Ron Rivera does a good job. I agree. I'm a big Ron Rivera fan. It would probably be the guy that I look to win the division. And you're right. I'm in the same boat. I don't trust Mike McCarthy. I did not like the way they played in several games down the stretch. They had a great record because they played one of the weakest schedules in the NFL, and they beat up on some bad teams. They lost almost every good team they played, and that could be a problem with other teams improving in the division. So I'll go along with you there, Greg. I'll go with the Commanders at 28-1 to win the NFC.
Taking a look at the NFC North, we've got the Green Bay Packers. They do have a new special teams coach. We got the Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears, and Detroit Lions.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Detroit here. This is like one of those things where in baseball, I always take the team that loses the most one-run games, and then I come back the next year and bet that team over the season win total. This is what I'm doing with the Lions. They were the third best covered team last season. I know that they had big spreads against them all the time, but there was some life. There was some energy. There was some fun. They won some big games, and I think they can carry that momentum in. With the uncertainty, Green Bay, is Rodgers there? I don't know. Minnesota, I don't know what's going on there. And the Bears, the young quarterback, he's so good, but he's just not ready yet. He's a little erratic still. So out of all those, and I look at Detroit, lovable losers. Let's get them into the playoffs. Let's have them win the division. Big money.
Well, I'm coming back to what I did last year. I like the Packers. I mean, I was all over the Packers all season long, and other than having the worst, I guess the best player on every team was the special team coordinator, Maurice Drayton for the Packers, who they unloaded. I mean, what a disaster Packers game and special teams. It really lost them the season. You got the MVP quarterback playing outstanding. And I don't know. Being that I think the chalk right now is the Rams at 10-1 or wherever they're at. The Packers at 15, 14, 15, 16-1 with a great team in somewhat of a very weak division. I think that they should be almost 8-1 themselves, regardless of the controversy if Rodgers is there or not. At 38 years old, I think he's going to be coming back to Green Bay and finishing off his career there and grabbing one more Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, 15-1 is the highest odds I see in the Packers at oddschecker.com, Caesars Palace, Caesars Sportsbook, and Fox Bet both have 15-1. You can find 14-1 almost anywhere on them. They are the favorite to win the division. And Greg, I agree that their defense I thought was far better than actually the numbers they put up, but the special teams did destroy them last year. I'm not, again, you've got a new coordinator in Chicago comes in. He was the defensive coordinator, Mac Everflos from the Colts. And then you also have a new coordinator in this division as well. I'm missing somebody in this division that unpack. Someone has a new coordinator. Chicago, Detroit's got their guy back. And who's the fourth team? Oh, Minnesota has a new coordinator. That's Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, coming over from the 49ers, their offensive coordinator. So no experience there. I think Minnesota's a rebuilding job. So I'm going to agree with Greg that the Packers actually, I think, have the team with the best chance to win because they have the talent in place, the head coach in place. And I'm going to say that Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback. I think he will stay as well. So we thought that last year. I think you're going to see it again that Rodgers stays in Green Bay. If he leaves, I think the division's probably up in the air. Almost anybody could win it.
Now, this division has so many question marks. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, and Carolina Panthers. Micah, what do you think?
I think all of those teams stink. I don't know who's going to win. By default, a 7-9 team maybe. I mean, I'm looking at maybe the Saints because I like Kamara. If their quarterback doesn't make mistakes. But Tampa Bay, no. Brady's gone. I guess I would go with the Saints. And that's not it's just one of those things. It's like pick the best of the worst. That's what that is.
Well, that is a very true statement. The Bucks to me seem like obviously the closest team. They were very close to going to the Super Bowl this year. I think they were the chalk going in where we were expecting them. Of course, they had Tom Brady. Now we all know that Brady retired. There's still some whispers that he could be he'd be kicking it for another year. The Bucks at 22-1 to me have a very good value in a very weak division. So you could get a plug and play quarterback in Tampa Bay, or who knows if he surprises everybody and comes back again, that number is going to go way on the other way. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay to repeat in that division in the South.
Yeah, it's very valuable to have odds checker and go be able to check future prices. I'm looking at the screen. Sugar House right now has the Tampa Bay Bucks at 33-1. And the low spot Caesars 18-1. So what a big difference between the odds on Tampa Bay. I'm going to look at this division that the best quarterback in this division now that Tom Brady is gone is probably Matt Ryan for Atlanta. I'm not sure if he'll be there or not. He could get traded. But as of right now, if I'm the Atlanta Falcons, I'm saying, you know what? We got the best quarterback now that Tom Brady's gone. We might win this division just the quarterback alone and the improvement with Arthur Smith now in his second year. The Falcons were competitive last year. They played hard. They were in a lot of games, and I think that at 28-1 to win the NFC is pretty high. I mean, this is a team that did go to the Super Bowl 5 years ago, so there's still players on that team that have that type of playoff experience. So I'll go with Matt Ryan and the Falcons.
I do like that. Very good points about the Falcons and Matt Ryan. Last division, our defending Super Bowl champs come from this division. NFC West, Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers, and Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I like the 49ers a lot with Garoppolo, not so much with Trey Lance. Garoppolo's amazing. I don't know why everybody wants to get rid of him. All he does is win games, 25-12 as a starter with the 49ers. That's pretty good in my opinion. And he makes big plays constantly to Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. Those guys are lethal together. They just right there. They probably could have been in the Super Bowl. So they played well enough in the playoffs and all season to get there. But the team I'm going to go. This is 25-1 to win the Super Bowl. And, the Super Bowl's in Glendale, Arizona next year. The last two teams that played the Super Bowl on their home field settled 25-1. Kyler Murray's learning life lessons right now. He's immature. He's frustrated, pouts a lot on the sideline. But I think this offseason, he's going to get some coaching from some smart people to tell him, this is just part of a learning process. You've got to mature and lead the team. He's not a very good leader. And, that's supposed to be a natural thing for a quarterback. And it's surprising to see him fall back. But they start 7-0. He's like one of the most amazing weapons in football. He's hard to stop. And then he gets injured and then the season's over. That's how it's been the last couple of years for him. But maybe this is a turnaround. Maybe he won't run so much. Maybe he'll take care of the team that way. And, you get Hopkins. Remember last year they lost Hopkins and Kyler at the same time, and then all momentum was gone. They were done, backed in, injured into the wild card game. But they had it going on, and their defense is very good with on the front line, linebackers and defensive backs. So Cardinals is the year next year, Super Bowl in Glendale.
Well, that is you stole my thunder with that one. That is certainly what a stat, back-to-back Super Bowl winners coming from their home field. Fantastic. I don't think that's enough for the Cardinals, though, because of their quarterback situation with Kyler Murray. The guy's 5'8". He's the smallest guy. He makes me look like look like a big guy. I don't think his style is certainly conducive to make it deep through the playoffs. They have a shot to win the division, but I still think they've got two fantastic teams that they have to get through with the Rams and the 49ers. I'm a big Jimmy Garoppolo fan. Coming from New England, going over to San Francisco, this guy wins games. He gets ripped quite a bit for a couple of poor decisions, but there's not too many quarterbacks in the NFL that are making it through a game without making some sort of faux pas throughout the four quarters. They've got a great defense. I like their coach. I like their wide receivers, their running backs. I'm going with the 49ers to go deep into the playoffs next year. 14-1, I'll take the number.
Yeah, look at it and not even knowing. And I think all three of us we're all in agreement. Jimmy Garoppolo is the best quarterback for the 49ers. I have a big drop off if it's Trey Lance next year. I would said last year somebody said to me, Trey Lance may start over Garoppolo. I said, well, if he does, they won't make the playoffs. That's a big drop that it was. And it's still a big drop off. I just don't like the value. I think the number's very, very low. I'm looking at win the NFC numbers plus 550 on the 49ers and then plus 450 on the Rams, who are the best team. They'll be the best team again in the division, I think. But will the motivation be there? That's the thing about NFL teams that do win a Super Bowl. They lose their edge a little bit, and they'll have the target on their back. So if I had to pick between the two best teams, it would be the 49ers. I don't trust Kyler Murray. I don't trust Cliff Kingsbury. I do trust Pete Carroll, and I do trust Russell Wilson, but I have no idea if Russell Wilson will be there. But most of the year, the talk was that Pete Carroll was out and Russell Wilson would be traded. Now that Pete Carroll's still there, I can't see them getting rid of Russell Wilson. I think they got to give it another shot before they break this thing apart and try to start over. So I'm going to go with Seattle at 18-1 to go from worst to first in the West.
All right, let's hear from each of you one more time from a strictly value standpoint. What are you looking at for either conference or to win the Super Bowl? Micah, we're going to keep it with you.
Arizona 25-1 to finish the job up that started last year. And then on the AFC, the Titans at 20-1 to win the Super Bowl. Back refresh. Of course, everything hinges on injuries. You just got to get lucky that your key players don't get hurt. And unfortunately, both those teams last season had the injury bug basically ruin their season.
I'm going to go with the Chargers coming out of the AFC West. And it's going to be quite a surprise seeing that they're going to be tournament tested tough, coming and playing out in such a tough division. And I'm going to stick with my Packers at double digits odds to win the Super Bowl, whether you get them at 14, 15, 16, 10 to 1, whatever it is. I'm still going to stick with the Packers to go deep all the way through the playoffs and to win the Super Bowl.
I'm going to go with Bill Belichick, 28 to 1 right now at FanDuel's to win the Super Bowl. They have the experienced quarterback now. Mac Jones really played well in that offense, and the defense was vastly improved. And I think Bill Belichick's team takes another step up and gets better this year. And I think they're right there fighting for the division again with Buffalo and having a chance to win the division. So I'll take the Patriots and Bill Belichick.
Great stuff. I appreciate you guys. We'll check back in after the draft, after some trades, and see where you guys stand on our value bets for NFL futures. I'm Alex for OddsChecker, Micah Roberts, Greg Sidoris, and Kenny White. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you next time.